Biggest wind-up merchant. Who was the person who could wind up people the most?
To sell stuff to.
No, just to irritate a fellow co-worker.
Oh my God. Probably, I would say Owen Hart. Owen Hart was, but he would wind them up over a period of time. I mean, he wouldn't go in the dressing room and just say, hey, watch me get Dutch over here. I'll have him. He would start it that night, and then the next night he would come in and he never did it to me, but I'm just using myself as an example. He'd do something else to me. And now he's got me sucked in. And then he would do a show every night. He'd just let his own guys know what he was doing. They'd watch him. So he would actually work an angle within an angle, and the people enjoyed it every night. So I remember one time I was working for WWE, I think, and we had this match in somewhere in Alabama. And he was on the other side. I was working against him. But he wanted to do a dive off the top rope on me, on the floor, and wanted me to catch him. You know how difficult that is. See, I'd never done it before. But if somebody just jumps, even come running and jumps in your arms, if they're your same weight, well, there's no guarantee you can hold them. And I knew when he come off that rope, I'd be like this. He was on concrete. I knew I was going to go down. I'd probably crack my head or break my arm or something. And I told him, well, this is what I told him. I said, yeah. He said, do you want to do that, Dutch? I said, yeah, we can do it. But let me highly advise you that when you come off that turnbuckle, hook a parachute on your ass, because I ain't going to be there. He said, oh, no, we won't do it if you don't want to. I said, well, good. I'm glad you understood that. You remember the Randy Colley, the Moondog?
I do, yeah.
He said, I'll do it. I'll do it, Owen. So they went out there, and Randy did it. And guess what happened? Knocked him out and broke his arm. And he was out for about 6 weeks. Then I looked at Owen and I said, now you see why I didn't want to do it. I don't know why guys don't see that stuff. See, I saw a guy the other day, he was doing this, some kind of flip, and he turns. This guy was supposed to catch him. Well, the guy completely missed him. The guy tore his face up on the floor. Both of them got knocked out. I don't know why people do that. And it was on a little independent show, 50, 60 people there. Now, why would somebody do that? I don't go. I think a lot of the wrestlers' IQs aren't very high sometimes, because, it didn't take a mathematician to figure out that body mass falling and weight falling, you got to have a much bigger body mass to catch that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know anything about calculus or anything, but that's not hard to figure out. But somehow it fell through the cracks for some people.
Yep, and because you mentioned Owen Hart, I've written a book on Owen Hart, so please go out and buy it.
Really?
I have, yes. And honestly, that's
Owen Hart, here's another story.
Please.
Owen Hart was the cheapest son of a bitch in the world. You've heard that, right?
Yes, I've written about it as well.
Okay, and you may have wrote the story. He goes on the road, and he had like little followers. A lot of them were females, and I guess his wife knew about it. I don't know. But they would pick him up at the airport, take him to a hotel and pay for his room, and take him to the matches, bring him back, feed him, do whatever he wanted to do as long as he was in that town. And then he would take him back to the plane. And I think he may have left some towns with more money than he came in with.
He probably did.
And he was notorious for that. Jeff Jarrett, he tells some stories of him, and it's hilarious to hear it.
It ain't what you make, it's what you save. That's the old saying.
Where that come from is old Nick Goodless. He was an old-time promoter, and he was known for stiffing you on payoffs. So I heard this story one time. Some Mexican, he used to use a lot of Mexicans, so they were just cheaper, or they were then. And the Mexican, he didn't make any money. the last week or whatever. And he said, Miss Unique, I only make $70 that week. And they went, hot damn boy, it ain't what you make, it's what you save.